Hi friends. So I gone through many changes in my life. I kind of inculcated so many changes in my life, but the when I look back and see the way I inculcated the changes was not the right way. I had gone through a lot of pain, and it took a lot of time and energy. And though I achieved the change, and I got the desired results, if I had followed a good followed a different methods, I could have achieved the same results in a much more shorter time. The reason I want to share my experience in terms of how you need to adopt the change, because the kind of path that I chose took a very long time to achieve the results. So I want to share those experience so that if anybody wants to bring the change, they don't need to go through this such pain again, and they could actually reduce their time to adopt the change. So when I started my career as a programmer, the kind of technology that I chose, I was having some thought running back of my mind that this is not the right technology. This will not give you, it will not take you to the maximum level possible financially, or this is in terms of self-satisfaction. So since then, in the first 10 years of my career, I've been trying to explore what are the other possible technology in the market who could address bigger problems in the market. So when you were part of the solution for the bigger problems, obviously your reward is also bigger. So that is a main strategy. So 7-8 years back, in the process of searching for the technology, I came to know about the big data technology, and the kind of problems it was trying to address really intrigued me. And then thought, this is the technology that I've been looking for, and which will prosper my financial growth and also gives that sense of satisfaction being part of the bigger problem, solving a bigger problems. And when I realized the real potential of this technology, and you can see the kind of approach that I followed to explore that, was totally disappointing. A naive way of doing it. And also, the technology that I've been working on and the technology that I wanted to explore are completely contrast to each other. There is no relevance. You have to start everything from scratch. Knowing all these facts, still I started exploring things on my own. And then explored for 2-3 months, and I could not see any results, and then I gave up. And then I got back to my regular work. So then I changed my company. After joining a new company, after a few months, again I started realizing the importance of bringing the change after 1 month of wasting time. And that's when I started realizing how can I learn this technology. That's when I started exploring, is there any institutes that are offering this kind of training to get these things going. So if I got that similar thought a year ago, a simple thought, it's not even a big thing, a simple thought of finding an institute who is teaching such technology, I could have saved 1 year of time. And guys, if any technology that is emerging in the market, and being a person who is early adopters in the market, you don't imagine the kind of demand that you would get and the kind of offerings they would have is unbelievable. I lost that opportunity. So after when I realized that, I joined the institute, and then I got the enough details. I got a little clarity of what is this platform is all about and what kind of problems it is trying to solve. But that course didn't give me the complete technology stack that is really required for the market. And whatever the gaps were there, I identified that and I started exploring again on my own. Same mistake. And then I spent another 8 to 9 months exploring things on my own, and I realized that it is not going anywhere. Then again I started exploring, is there any institute which can help me understand the the, the remaining technology stack that is required for the marketplace. And fortunately I found a good trainer, and then he helped me to cover the remaining technology stack as well. And that's where I really accelerated my journey towards market readiness. And within 3 months after completing my course, I started preparing my resume and then started giving interviews. And I failed some 20 odd interviews, and then finally I could got into the job that I really wanted. Though I got the job, I compromised on my salary because I was looking for initial break. Opportunity was a bigger thing for me than the salary, because I didn't had any real-time exposure. I want to gain that. And my struggle didn't stop there. Actually, my struggle started after joining the job. I joined as an architect there. Being a senior person, the kind of expectations the company had was very high. And I know the reality. I didn't have any exposure on this real-time use cases. And I couldn't position myself there because how much ever I kind of trying to catch up with the speed of the requirements versus my preparation wasn't enough. So always be over prepared for the situation than under prepared. That I realized the value of having that over preparedness. So I miserably failed there to position myself in that company. But internally I know the reality. I could gain a lot of experience. Everything was new for me. Whatever I did was like a learning for me. So after close to 3 years, I decided to move on. And then this time my situation was better. I could able to position myself better as an architect with the kind of use cases that I explored on my own. And I positioned myself in a better way, and I could also demand the salary that I wanted. And one thing, guys, to reach this stage, if you calculate the number of years that it took, it is almost 3 plus 3, 6, 7 years. 6-7 years to reach this target, this position. And 6 years is not a short journey. If I look back and see the kind of mistakes I have done, the first 2 years of identifying the right course, the right training, I could have saved the first 2 years itself when I realized the importance of finding a training. And the later, position myself in the new company. If I approach somebody who already experienced in this area, if I take his help to understand how the real-time use cases would be and get some hands-on from him, that could have saved another at least 2 years of my struggle. And overall, I could have reduced, if I had followed these things, I could have reduced my journey from 6 years to somewhere 2 years. Believe me, 4 years I could have saved. And imagine, the 4 years is not a short time. And not only my mistakes didn't stop in my professional life, but it is also same thing in my personal life as well. 10 years ago, when I wanted to venture out in the stock market, by hearing from people saying you should start investing money in the stock market, I invested 1 lakh rupee there, and I didn't realize that I should my plan should be always in the long term. Instead, I started looking out every day, monitoring the stock, how much it is going. I see I started losing money, and then I was praying God that get my money back, recover my money back. I'll withdraw. I will not do this mistake again. So after 6 months, I could recover my money, and then I withdrew, and then I gave up on that. If I had known this one simple technique of investing money in the long term, if I had known this, and if I left my money 1 lakh in the stock market there 10 years down the line, I could have gained at least 10 lakhs by now, minimum. And same thing I have done it, investing in the real estate with 7 to 8 lakhs. It is 12 years ago. And I didn't realize the importance of leaving the investing and importance of a long-term vision in the real estate market. I just sold it in 2 years, knowing that it is not going anywhere. I could see only 10% of appreciation in 2 years. And then I sold it. And imagine now, after 12 years, when I look back and inquired about that area, the kind of appreciations they got, I could have made minimum of 1 crore by now. I could have been financially independent. So these are the small things can cost a lot in our life, one's life. So what I wanted to say is, have somebody, if you want to venture out some new area, get some suggestions from the right people, not from anybody. You should find out, if you are taking suggestions from somebody, inquire about their background. Are they really into that space? How much experience they gained in those areas? So then you choose the right person to follow them, and then take their learnings and then implement them accordingly. Thank you so much.